Hi, this is Christian Michelson, the #1 best-selling author of Get Clients Today. And in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you how to get high-paying business owner coaching clients. And so I started off really as just a success coach, and I got clients that were business owners, but I also got a lot of clients that were, all kinds of people who wanted to make changes, people who wanted to lose weight, people who wanted to get into a relationship. And over time, instead of just being a success coach, I focused exclusively on coaching business owners. I also love working with business owners because they're committed to their success. They love being coached. And over the years, my coaching fees went up from $195 a month all the way up to $100,000 a year. And now I'm only doing VIP days where people pay $100,000 to work with me for a single day. And I've grown my business to over $5 million a year. And in the last few years, my business has made the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies. But I struggled in the early days to grow my business. I grew up on welfare, and $195 a month for coaching felt like I was charging a lot because $195 felt like a lot for me. When I was on welfare as a kid, I was wearing hand-me-down clothes that were a decade out of style, that were worn by my oldest brother, and then my second oldest brother, and then eventually came to me many years later. And I remember one day I went to school and I was wearing bell bottoms in the 80s, which were not cool. And this kid, he, pushed his foot against the bottom of my jeans and rang the bell. And he was a ding dong, and then everybody laughed. And I felt so ashamed to have to be wearing those clothes. And I felt ashamed for being poor. But flash forward to when I was struggling to grow my business and I was falling behind on my mortgage, I was so stressed out about trying to figure out how to get more clients and how to make enough money to pay my bills. I didn't know what I was afraid of, and then all of a sudden it hit me that I wasn't afraid of losing my house. I was afraid of what it meant, that people would look down on me and I would be ashamed of being poor like I was when I was a kid. And when I realized that, something healed inside of me, and I realized that I didn't need to put on pretenses anymore or pretend to be successful or pretend to be something that I wasn't, that I could just be myself and I could just focus on getting clients and helping clients. And then everything in my business changed from that moment forward. I started getting clients more consistently. I started growing my business faster. I started getting higher paying clients. And eventually, a bunch of other coaches started asking me, what was I doing that was getting so many clients and making so much money? And then a handful of coaches hired me to help them grow their business. And I was able to help 4 out of 5 of those first coaches to grow their business from zero to over $100,000 a year within 18 months. And one of them did it in 72 days. And that's when I realized that all the things that I learned through trial and error, trying to grow my business, I could share with other coaches and they could have success even faster than I did. I've been coaching for over 18 years, and I've been coaching mostly business owners for the last 16 years. And in that time, I've learned a lot about what it takes to attract business owner clients, how to speak their language so they know you're somebody that can help them. And the first breakthrough for me in getting lots of business owner clients was learning the 3-step process for how to get any kind of client. And the 3-step process goes like this. Step 1, they hear about you and they hear about how you can help them. Step 2, they have an introductory conversation with you. This could be over the phone or in person. And step 3, they hire you. So step 1 is that clients hear about you and what you can do for them. First, I'll share with you all the places that you can find business owner clients and how to get them to hire you. So business owners are everywhere, right? We interact with businesses all the time. Not necessarily the owner, but we interact with businesses all the time. And every time you go to a restaurant, every time you go to a store, and anytime you buy something on the internet, you're interacting with the business. One way, certainly not necessarily the easiest way, but if you're totally courageous and bold, you can just go into all these different businesses and ask if you can meet with the owner. And if the owner isn't there at that moment, you could ask, hey, when is the owner going to be here? I'm not suggesting that's the best way to do it, but that's one of the simplest ways to do it because business owners are everywhere. One of the great things about business coaching is that there are so many business owners in the world. In fact, in the United States alone, there are 28 million small businesses. You can also find business owners going to networking events, and there are tons of local networking events in most places around the world because business owners like hanging out with other business owners so they can do business with each other. So they go there potentially get clients directly, but they also go there because other business owners might be able to pass them clients. For example, if someone is a business attorney and someone else is a business accountant, Now, they could become friends, and there's a huge potential that they could pass clients to each other, because all the business attorney clients might need an accountant, and all the accountant's clients might need a business attorney, and both of these people could refer clients to a business coach like you. Another place to get clients is at business development seminars. There are lots of seminars all over the world where business owners attend to learn how to run their business better, how to get more clients, how to grow their business. And many years ago, I was at a business workshop led by someone else. I went there, and while I was sitting there, I just thought to myself, wow, everybody in here that's learning from this guy is going to want to hire him. They wouldn't want to hire me because he was teaching some really great stuff. At the time, things like that seemed like they were really over my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy knows so much more than me. Nobody's gonna wanna hire me as a business coach. They're all gonna wanna hire him. Yet, I ended up talking to somebody at that workshop. We just really clicked, and he started wanting to know more about what I do. He asked me if he could take me to lunch that day. My calendar was pretty wide open in those early days of my business, and I was like, sure, let's go do it. I could definitely use the free lunch, quite frankly. We went to lunch, we talked for a little bit, and he ended up hiring me right on the spot at lunch. Someone else's business development seminars is basically a whole room full of your hottest prospects. But if you go there and you're trying to hand out flyers to everybody and speak to everybody in the audience with an offer, that's gonna be a problem with whoever's running the seminar. And it's kind of sleazy to be like trying to, get. In fact, that usually pushes clients away. Quite frankly, that's not the best way to attract those clients. Having great conversations with people is how you attract clients. Another big place to find business owner clients is online and social media groups. For example, Facebook, LinkedIn. Many years ago, I was in a Facebook group of an online business firm. It was before Facebook really caught on. I was in that group and everybody was just asking questions and trying to be as helpful with each other as possible. I just thought to myself, I'm gonna be as helpful as possible every time I interact with someone. And if they want to get to know me better and vice versa, we'll get on the phone and there's a really good chance that they're going to end up hiring me. Or I could offer a resource to them and get them on my email list, which will then get them on the phone with me and get them hiring me. Finally, one of the best ways to attract business owner clients is with Facebook ads or social media ads. One of the reasons why it's so great to get business owner clients with Facebook ads is you can look for the people and target people who identify themselves as a CEO. You could target people in your local area, invite them to a local workshop that you're doing, or you could just send them to a website and say, we're offering a free video or a free special report. So there are lots of different places that you can find business owners hanging out to connect with them and have them hear about you and how you can help them. The next thing I want to share with you in this video is how to create instant credibility. Once you know where these clients are, you'll want to get them interested in working with you. And one of the best ways to do that is by setting yourself up as an expert. There's a 3-step formula to create instant credibility, and it looks like this. The first is based on a study that was done several years ago to find out what makes an expert witness credible to juries. They did lots of studies and they found that it wasn't if someone had a PhD or how many years they've been doing a job or how much experience they have or all the letters behind their name. The thing that made an expert witness more credible to a jury than anything else was how clear and simply the expert spoke. Whoever was the easiest person to understand, that was the one that was more believable and more credible. And that's the one who would win over and sway the jury. The person who communicated their ideas the simplest and clearest was the person that was believed was an expert, even better than the person who had all the credentials and all that other kind of stuff. And the reason I share that with you is because a lot of coaches, especially business coaches, are gonna think, man, I don't know if people are gonna take me seriously. I don't know if I have what it takes. Are people gonna trust that I can actually help them? And knowing that speaking simply and understandably is one of the most important things to sway people over, to have them believe in you, that's really helpful for most coaches. Now, some of it's confidence and some of it's credibility. Some it's like, well, I don't know if I'm good enough that I can help them. And the other is, I know I'm good enough, but I wanna make sure that they know I'm good enough. We want both of these things. We want the confidence on the inside and the credibility so that people will believe in you. In the early days of my coaching business, I had a lot of self-doubts about whether I could actually make an impact on my business owner coaching clients. I was really young, I was very insecure, and I remember I got a client, and he had a private investigation company with like 20 people that worked on his team, and he was on the verge of bankruptcy when he hired me. And I just remember feeling all this pressure, like, what if I can't help him? What if his business fails? And one of the simplest things that I helped him do was just to get really clear and set goals. And so he started setting a goal for the year, but he also had a goal every single month. And he put it somewhere where he could see it so that he could stay focused on achieving it. And just that one simple thing, he told me, was one of the most valuable things that we did together to completely turn his business around. And he went from being on the verge of bankruptcy to having incredible success in his business. And the reason I share this story with you is because if you feel the same way, like, do you have what it takes to coach business owners? Are you worried that you know enough or that you're good enough? I want to let you know that you do have what it takes. Now, it is still great to get more training. It is still great to get more tools to not only better coach clients, but also to be able to win them over and get them to sign up to work with you. The second key to create instant credibility is to speak the language of clients. And the language of clients is results. So what kind of results are business owners looking for? Well, they want to grow their business. They want to work less hours. They want more freedom and free time. They want help with their team. They want help hiring. They want help getting their team to grow their business for them. So there's a lot of results that you can talk about. And if you can describe what a business owner's problem is better than they can, then they can automatically assume that you have the solution. So for example, if you coached chiropractors, right? Chiropractors are business owners, and you could talk about what it's like for a chiropractor who's trying to grow his business. And maybe he has a handful of patients spread out throughout the day on his schedule, and he has all this downtime where he knows he should be growing his practice, where he knows he should be marketing, but maybe he's not sure what to do, or the things that he knows he should be doing, he's not really doing. He's not taking action on the things he knows because maybe those things feel uncomfortable to him. And if you can nail what's actually happening for that chiropractor, if that's what he's going through and he hears you talking about what that's like, he's gonna go, oh my goodness, that person must know exactly what I'm going through, and therefore they must be able to help me. When you can prove that you know what they're going through, they automatically think and feel that you know the solution. Now, the third thing that you can do to create instant credibility is to teach them something valuable. Now, I could tell you about how I won all these Inc. 5000 awards for being one of the fastest growing companies in America, and I could talk about how I've written best-selling books. I can tell you why I'm an expert, and there's value in that for sure. But what's even more proof is when I can show you my expertise by teaching you something valuable. So the third thing that I want to do is teach people something valuable, and that will set you up as an expert. Because you'll be thinking, wow, if he's teaching me all this good stuff for free, then I can't wait to find out what's inside the programs that I would pay for. So again, the first way to create instant credibility is to speak simply and clearly. Number two, talk about the things your clients care about. Speak the language of clients. Talk about growing their business, making more money, working less hours. Talk about the pains, problems, and challenges they're going through, and be specific. And number three, teach them something valuable. If you can do those three things, then you can have instant credibility with your prospective clients, and they're gonna be much more likely to wanna get on the phone with you, have a free session with you, and hire you. Once you get in front of people, then you're gonna want to offer them some sort of resource to help them out. You could offer them a free video training, a free article that you wrote that could be really helpful for them. You could offer them a free ticket to a workshop that you'll do, or a free teleclass or a free webinar. Those are some of the things that you could offer that could make people want to go from meeting you to getting onto your email list. And one of the best things you could offer as an incentive to get on your email list is a free business assessment. In my program, Big Money Business Coach, I actually have 3 assessments that we use to help clients in different ways. We have one specifically for business owners, we have another one for leaders and executives, and we have a third one for sales professionals. And what's great about that is all 3 of those are beneficial to business owners, because a lot of business owners are leading their teams, and a lot of business owners actually have to do the selling. So all 3 of those assessments are really valuable for getting people to want to get on your email list. And once they're on your email list, if they take the assessment, it shows them the gaps and how far apart they are from where they are now and where they could be. These are the 3 assessments that we use inside of Big Money Business Coach, and I'm gonna give you the business owner's assessment now at no charge. This is something you can just download below this video. This is my gift to you. You could take this assessment for yourself so you can see where you're at, and you can start using this assessment with potential business owner clients to help attract clients to you. The great thing about these assessments is that they're self-assessments, so it's their own answers. They're putting in for themselves what feels true for them. It's not like you or I are gonna be telling them, hey, look, your marketing's not so great, or hey, you're not a great leader, or you need to get better at sales. If you tell them those things, they could argue with you and their defenses might go up. But if they assess themselves and they see, oh my gosh, I need to get better at leadership, I need to get better at marketing, I need to get better at these different aspects of growing their business, they can't argue against it because it's their own answers. Another great thing about using an assessment is that when they get the assessment from you, they're gonna think, wow, you must know the answers, you must know how to fix the problems they have. So it also further sets you up as an expert, plus it makes them wanna work with you, it makes them wanna hire you. Keep watching this video to learn more secrets to getting business owner clients and becoming a big money business coach from some of my successful students. Remember, people need our help, let's get people coached.
I'm Susan Epstein, and I live in New London, Connecticut. I used to be a psychotherapist and was very successful at it, but was burning out. I was on like a whole site with different kinds of coaches on it, and I was getting tons of referrals. But what was so terrible about it was he was handing me these people who wanted to get a coach, and I would go into therapy mode on the call and pretty much fix it in 45 minutes. And then when I would make the offer, they would say, well, let me implement what you just told me to do, and I'll call you in 2 weeks if it doesn't work. And nobody called me back. So my conversion rate was like really pretty low, like maybe 10 or 20% of the people that he was feeding me. You gave me free sessions at Sell, and within like 2 weeks, I went to 80% conversion. When we started working together, I was still doing therapy, and I think I had a full-time job, and by the time I was fully transitioned, I was over 300,000. And none of it was from parenting. It was all from business coaching. And I love it. I just love business coaching. It's really about mindset, blocks, new ideas. The more you can free yourself up, the more your business will grow, the more relaxed you'll be. And I can actually say that I have a spacious business now. I work 20 hours a week.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Becker-Hill. I'm the founder of the Women's Empowerment School here in Southern California. And I was proudly a pioneer of the coaching industry. After moving here to California 4 years ago, I had quite a deep identity crisis. And thanks God, in that crisis, I found Christian, and he is now my biggest mentor for around 2 years. And he has a deep impact on how I work with my corporate clients, and first and foremost, how I work with myself on my self-management. I ran in all sorts of stories in my mind. Why people can't afford me, why people are not willing to pay for coaching, etc., etc. And it took Christian 5 minutes on the microphone, live coaching at one event, to bust that. It was so cool. He said something along the line, Sylvia, there will be always clients who have way more money than you can imagine and who could pay you even way more than you charge. And there will always be people who can't afford you no matter what you charge. So now, thanks to Christian, independent what is going on in my bank accounts, I can manage my inner state to be confident in what I have to offer and to be in this paradigm of not knowing and encounter any prospect with ease, grace, generosity, compassion, curiosity. It's complete different paradigm of selling and of beingness for myself. So because I'm now able, thanks to Christian Michelson, to charge much higher fee, I need less clients to accomplish my revenue goals. So now all my clients I take on are a minimum a $10,000 package. So my business flows easier. My revenue comes now from less clients, and compared starting to the time I started with Christian, I would say in the moment I make 25% more.
My name is Genevieve Rackham. I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and I've been coaching for about 2 years now. I remember taking one of your free webinars. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning on like a Saturday night when everyone my age was out partying. I was like doing this, and I was listening to you talk about like the free session concept. And then I was like struggling to have clients consistently. I had signed maybe 2 clients and I just moved out on my own. And your program was actually the first investment I ever made in my business. I signed up for your program right then and there. And I would say from that point forward, I never struggled to get clients ever again. I started charging $1,000 per month and I'd signed like 2 clients at that rate. After I got really good at like signing clients, I started raising my rates and raising my rates and raising my rates. And now the commitment to work with me is for 12 months and it's $4,000 per month with a $6,000 deposit up front.
How many clients are you working with right now?
5. It's like 54,000 or something like that per client for the year.
Okay, so and then times 5, so that's like $250,000.
Yeah, so doing pretty well.
And how old are you now?
I'm 22.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I started off as a life coach, and then I quickly realized I was more about the business, so it became business and life. And then it went to just business, and now I'm a business and executive coach. Well, the first thing, I remember we were in a workshop together, and you said something like, well, you're clearly a great coach. Why are you charging so little? And I thought, wow, okay, I got to change this. So I immediately went home and I doubled my prices overnight. And then when you double your prices, you have to then find clients. You can't ask people with no money for a lot of money. So I used your system of identifying where those other clients would hang out. So I grew into that, and then I quadrupled them from my original prices within a few months. So that just hearing that was amazing. My old fee, I remember you were in a state of shock when I told you it was $600 a month. But then I went home and doubled them to 12. I'm inching way up there. So an average client would be 30 or 40K a year.
What would be advice you would give to anybody who was thinking about becoming a business coach or starting to get into coaching business owners?
Well, they need some tools that you did teach me. That will get them started. The how to introduce yourself, what should be on your card, how do you speak about what you do, how do you make it not about you and about them, how do you make it the best value, how do you talk with complete conviction, even if you've never coached that kind of a person before.
The success of your clients is your ultimate goal. Your focus should be less on the money you make and more on the real impact that you can get for your client.
So I love the focus on results, because the other thing it gives you is confidence.
Exactly.
You know, and I think one of the biggest things holding a lot of coaches back is confidence. And the great thing about coaching business owners is business owners tend to be way more receptive to coaching. And most business owners don't have it all figured out. Most business owners, like, they may have figured out a couple of things that got them to a level of success, but there's a million problems that business owners have, and they are desperate to get support.
If you don't have your own proven success in a business, if you do, then you have a system that you have followed and you are teaching that system.
Right, for
But
sure.
if you don't have it, you should find somebody's system,
Right.
but you use somebody's system that is proven because you don't have that same yourself.
Right.
You use a system to help your clients, because then you can make it duplicated over time period with different types of clients within that same niche or whatever area that you're looking for.